Michigan rental laws outline the rules in the state regarding lease agreements and evictions. We'll examine relevant laws for standard lease agreements, month-to-month lease agreements, and evictions. Standard lease agreement. A standard lease gives an overview of the terms between a landlord and tenant for the renting of property. A standard lease is commonly a one-year fixed period and is the most widely used rental contract. Month-to-month lease. A month-to-month lease is an agreement between a landlord and tenant that renews automatically every month and terminates upon notice by either party. In Michigan, the notice must be provided by the landlord or tenant a minimum of 1 month prior to termination as required by law. Required disclosures. In Michigan, the landlord is required to include the following disclosures as part of the lease agreement. Domestic violence victims. In accordance with the MCL 554-601B, landlords must include special language in the lease agreement regarding domestic violence victims, or must hand-deliver the statement to the tenant. Inventory checklist. Landlords must provide tenants with a move-in checklist, which must be returned to the landlord within 7 days of occupying the property. Truth in renting statement. The landlord must include specific language in the lease regarding the Truth in Renting Act. Security deposit receipt. Landlords must furnish tenants with a receipt which informs tenants where the funds are located. Furthermore, there must be specific language in this portion of the lease regarding rules and timelines for a forwarding address. Landlord access. In Michigan, the landlord is not required to give notice before entering the property for any repairs or other non-emergency reasons. Security deposit laws. In Michigan, the landlord can charge a maximum of 1.5 months rent as security. The money must be returned to the tenant within 30 days of vacating the property. Eviction laws. There are 3 legally accepted causes for eviction in Michigan. Non-payment of rent. If the tenant is late on rent, the landlord can issue a 7-day notice to pay or quit. This gives the tenant 7 days to pay the rent in full, along with any penalties, or vacate the property. If they do neither, the landlord may be forced to seek an eviction from the court. Non-compliance. If the tenant is in material breach of their lease agreement, which can include damage, excessive noise, or any other violation, the landlord may issue a 7-day notice to quit. Illegal drug use. If there is sufficient evidence of a tenant using illegal drugs on the property, the landlord may issue the tenant a 24-hour notice to quit. To use this notice, a complaint must have been filed with the local police department.